You may disagree, but up to me, it's a fact. You're paying running backs, it ain't no fun in that. Yeah, the sermon about to start, so I hope you know your stats. And if Kev get it wrong, then Rashad on his back with the facts. Matter of fact, all we do is say wins. When wings, congregation say amen. Trades, debates, wins, losses, the latest news.
Welcome to Preach Care, Preach with Rashad. We are the prophets of an episode, another sermon coming at you from Wildcard Sports here on Wildcard TV. Rashad, man, what's going on?
And shoot, bro, just November kicking off, man. So hopefully everybody had a nice, safe Halloween. Saw a couple of good little costumes out there, So hopefully everybody enjoyed the Halloween movie marathon, some pumpkin patches, some haunted houses, all that good stuff, man. So now we gearing up for the real food festival, man. We getting ready for the big Thanksgiving now. So
I need
it's just that time of year, man. It's nothing but food, fun, and love in the air, man. And of course, you got all the sports going on right now. Baseball is knee deep in the World Series. I mean, by the time this post, we might have a winner because Braves up 3-2 on Houston. We know NFL is approaching. They kind of hitting the bye weeks now, so we're going into week 9. NBA, we're about 7-8 games in on most teams, and we kind of seeing how we got the Bulls doing good right now, Lakers figuring out the whole Russ thing. So just all the sports going on right now, man. So it's a beautiful time. College football, they releasing the first playoff rankings and all that kind of stuff. So it's just if you're a sports fan, it's a nice time to be a sports fan. Of course, boxing got a lot of big fights this month too. So it's just a crazy time, an exciting time for sports and just life, man, with all the festive love in the air, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Black Friday shopping, Christmas shopping, all that kind of stuff.
Did you like the college football rankings? For the first?
It's the first one, and then
right.
You guys still think about normally when this stuff starts coming out, teams start to fall off, and then it kind of becomes that who did you lose to and when did you lose type of thing, which always happens. Like Alabama lost to A&M barely. So if they beat everybody else and win the SEC championship, of course they can always get back in it. But that can hurt the Georgia because if you lose the SEC championship, you lost the last week of the season basically. So now you probably can't even get in the top 4 because Ohio State may be there. If Cincinnati runs the table, they may still be up there. And you never know, a Pac-12 team may still be up there. So, when you lose and how you lose is always because it's all semantics in college football. It's not definitive like NFL of all right, you won your division, you get this spot in the playoff, you play this team, and it goes. It's set in stone. Versus college, it's all up to interpretation of who did you lose to. You need style points of how did you beat somebody and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was about to say, man. Sometimes these games, you look at the. Like college, and that's probably why I really don't like college too much as much NFL. It's just it matters about your strength of schedule, but also you got to beat who you play, and if you don't beat them soundly, then we look at you differently. And it just it's a lot of back and forth. Like Michigan took their first loss. Now you got people saying, "Oh, we told y'all Harbaugh couldn't do it. Harbaugh isn't this. Harbaugh isn't that." I'm like, yo. He probably gonna at word would be 10-2. Let's say he loses Ohio State.
Well, I mean, I'm one of those people, man. I'm one of those people because when you think about the Big Ten, you think of Ohio State first,
right? And
then after that, number 2 is kind of vacant. And with the hype fair he came in with just the money he makes for sure, his name value, his name brand. You would think Michigan could be that number 2 program, but at some point compete with Ohio State. But if you can't even beat your second level rival like Michigan State, how can you compete with the Ohio States and get into a playoff? He's gonna win. I agree, he's gonna win 10 games every year. He's gonna have a career 70 to 72 win percentage while he's at Michigan, but at some point, it's just not enough. He's 500 against Michigan State, and of course he's not going to beat Ohio State.
Right.
So it's like
But see,
you can't even beat your
but see,
second level rival.
the Ohio State expectation really shouldn't, like, he's not going to beat Ohio State without a quarterback. And he
But
is
that's supposed to be his thing, though. He's the quarterback guy.
But
they can't really find.
They can't find one. I don't know. They got to go through the transfer portal or whatever it is. Until he get that, he ain't never gonna beat. You know what I'm saying? They never gonna be for real. I mean, I think he can be top 10 or top 15 as a consistently. Obviously, like you said, the Big Ten, you got your Michigan States, your Purdue's up and down, your Indiana sometimes, your Wisconsin's. Yeah. So I feel like if you can be around that 2 or 3, like I said, you're not in the SEC. You can't be bad. You can't be mad if you're behind Bama, right? Or behind Georgia. So you're automatically number 3 going into the season, right? In SEC, no matter what. Then in Big Ten, you gonna be behind Ohio State. That's just what it is.
But that's really the point that most people make about Harbaugh. Like, yeah, Alabama be the top of the top, but you will see LSU knock them off here and there. You'll see Auburn knock them off here and there.
I mean, that's true.
Like A&M just knock them off here and there, but you don't see Michigan at least knock off Ohio State. Like, they can't even get past the Michigan States and the Wisconsin. Like, that's where the Michigan problem comes in. They can't even knock off them people to even have you can't even say you took down the big dog at some point.
I'll say this. Now, yeah, his top 10 record isn't good at all. But those teams you're naming, like, when Alabama lose, it'd be something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like the Auburn loss with the kick return to the crib, or LSU obviously usually a top 10 school as well. So like, with and the guys they produce in the NFL are way more caliber than and I feel like Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, the SEC just has a bigger pool. Like they just I think that's why more athletes. Like the South is just Texas, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. Then you get people from Cali and stuff like that. You make a good point. They just.
I think it's like 2 ways you can look at it. Like Ohio State when they play Michigan, I feel like no matter what, Ohio State's up for that game just because it's the rival, right? But like you see Ohio State lose to damn Indiana on a random week 4 just because they think they're supposed to win. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they just get up for the game. I ain't saying that's. I ain't trying to make excuses, but I'm just saying.
But that's why, why can't that be Michigan?
That's true too.
Why can't it be? Why it gotta be Indiana or Purdue? Why is it not Michigan?
Yeah.
Why can't Harbaugh be the guy that catch them slipping and beat them?
He got to catch Ohio State early. Like there's no way you can beat them boys week. You know what I'm saying? Week let's say the 12th. It's too late.
But it'll never happen because that's just how the schedule set up.
I know. They always play the last week.
You know, catch them early.
Yeah, because like Oregon caught Ohio State at the right time. That game right there just might put Oregon above to say, oh, we here. You know what I'm saying in the back end because Cincinnati can go undefeated all they want. They're gonna try to push them out.
Yeah, like if you really look at how the standings played out, Georgia 1, Bama 2, Michigan State 3, Oregon 4, Ohio State 5, Cincinnati 6. And then Michigan with a loss is at 7, and Oklahoma and Wake Forest, who are undefeated, are 8 and 9. So you're looking at in a year where there is no Clemson, can Wake Forest run the table and get up there? And then you got to think about Michigan State, Ohio State, and Michigan. They'll all play each other, so that'll kind of weed itself out.
Right.
Bama, Georgia, they could be headed for collision course for SEC championships, so that'll weed itself out. And now you could be looking at only Ohio State, Oklahoma as the only undefeated team, and they've just turned into a machine since they got Rattler up out of there.
Man, Oklahoma's still sorry. I don't give a fuck how many games they win. I don't care. They go undefeated. I can't put them in there. There's no way you look at Oklahoma and say they're a top 4 team. I just don't like.
Yeah, like
there's no way. There's no way.
By resume, they're not. But when you look at how everything could shake out, they're just gonna naturally get there because I don't see who in their conference could beat them.
No, and that's the thing. They probably won't lose, but I'm just glad. Like, so what? Georgia, Bama, Michigan State, Oregon is the top 4 for the playoffs.
Yeah, right now. Yeah,
and I'm glad Oklahoma where they at. right there at 8.
Yeah,
I mean, the fact that Cincinnati, like, they probably won't even get in. And are they put Oregon over Ohio State just because they beat them, right? Because
hit the head, yeah.
Because I think if they played again, you already know what's gonna happen.
Like I thought they would have won the first time, but of course in a rematch, I think Ohio State definitely takes them down.
Yeah,
and Cincinnati has to run the table, and then just the highest
they need
Cincinnati
luck.
can get is like the highest Cincinnati can get is gonna be 2, but they have to do their part and go undefeated.
Well, you know how they set it up, right? Bama beat Georgia. Georgia go to 4.
I mean, that's always how it is.
But but it has to go because Georgia's the better team.
Yeah,
like
the only way that cannot happen though is, for example, if Bama beats Georgia, which I think will happen. I think Georgia's undefeated, but they've been beating all the sorry teams. Like, I think Alabama's better than Georgia as a whole. But when you look at Ohio State, they're going to play Michigan, who's sitting at 7-1 right now, and Michigan State. So Ohio State, as long as they run the table
they automatically
and win the Big Championship, they automatically in. So now you for sure got your SEC champ and the Big Ten champ, and you got to see how it shakes out with does Oregon win their conference, does Cincinnati go undefeated, and does Oklahoma go undefeated? If Oregon doesn't win the Pac-12, or if Oklahoma doesn't go undefeated, and even Wake Forest, you have to Wake Forest, and then that will open the door for Cincinnati to get into one of those 4 spots. Because then you're looking at Big Ten champ, which would be Michigan State, Ohio State, or Michigan at some point. SEC champ, Georgia, Alabama, and then you got the 2 other spots right there. So that's the only way. That's the only path for Cincinnati to get in, just because of their name and their conference. If
you're Cincinnati, you root for Georgia to keep winning, because it's still hard for a committed, even though Bama's a better team by far, not even close to Cincinnati. We all know this, but that's the only way you can. That's your only argument. They got 2 losses, we got 0. Knowing damn well if we switch the record, I mean the schedule. We know, we all know. But
that's the thing. Like, you only can play who's in front of you,
right? So Cincinnati. So you got to cheer for Alabama. I mean, cheer for Georgia to win out, because that means that Alabama lose. Then you probably need to lose. You probably need to cheer for, because Ohio State played. Then Michigan State on the same side of Ohio State, right?
Like, you're really more inclined to cheer for Michigan State, because if they run the table, they'll knock Ohio State out with 2 losses.
Right, but then on top of that, you need Michigan State to knock off Ohio State, but then lose that Big Ten. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they'll have 2 losses. Record State undefeated? No, they got 1. They got
no. They ain't no.
Okay, so all right, so you need Ohio State with 2, Michigan State to lose the Big Ten champ, and then I mean that's all right. Really, all you need probably, because I don't know.
I mean, you still need Pac-12 to fall. You still need Oregon to fall.
I don't think you need aces. I don't think wait, unless Wake Forest go out here and like 40 burger everybody. I don't think they're gonna have they're not gonna have a game where they're like, oh, ACC, you know what I'm saying? ACC, sorry, like.
Yeah, ACC is the worst Power 5, like, and it's been the worst Power 5 ever, because like it's always Florida State with Jimbo and Jameis, they had their run. Then it's been basically Clemson ever since. Like, yeah, North Carolina may have a good year, or Virginia Tech might have a solid season, but for the most part, the ACC is just people want to talk about top heavy. It's one team, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah. So I don't know. It's gonna be a little fun ride to see what happens. Obviously, Notre Dame just too far. For they're too far, and they play SEC schools. They need to, they need to let's play SEC.
like Notre Dame, they will always have a path to the title game, because they always play their rivals are Big Ten and Pac-12 teams. So if those teams are doing good, your resume looks better. But when Notre Dame lose, you got to try to beat everybody else.
When they lose to when they lose to USC or anybody in the ACC, but then when they win, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's
like, just because their brand is so big, they're gonna always have a path at it. But because of their schedule, if a team you beat starts having a bad season, now your win looks devalued.
Mm-hmm. So shout out to Cincinnati, man. We'll see it again. I heard everybody's mad about the snub. or snub their ears, I guess, for not making it in the top 4 originally. We'll see. All right, so our main topics, man, for the show, man, it's about the window in the NFL, NBA, really any sport. You always have a window to win a championship or to have X player or this and this or that before things fall off the wheel, because it's hard to be consistent for a long period of time. Outliers, San Antonio Spurs. Outlier, New England Patriots. Other than that, you get a good 4 to 5 year window, and then you have to regroup, retool, or what's the other word? Rebrand, reorganize, whatever you want to call it. You got to redo everything. So let's start with, trade deadline just happened, man, and obviously before the trade deadline,
ain't a damn thing happened.
Really nothing happened.
Shout to Von Miller, but
Von Miller, that's it. Yeah, Von Miller. All right, let's start there. Von Miller to the Rams. Rams got 2 picks in next year's draft. That's it. Obviously, the team's going for it. Traded for Jalen Ramsey. Traded for Matt Stafford. Hit on great picks as Cooper Kupp. Hit on great picks like Aaron Donald. Paid up for the offensive line. They did pay for the running back, but then they got realistic, and they said, all right, let's go Henderson and Akers. That's a better. Obviously, Akers got out for the season, but Henderson shows you why you don't need to pay your money. You just find a guy who fit the system and keep on rolling.
Get you a committee. In fact, if you can run the ball and do a little catching, good with us.
We good with us. So you got that. Our boy T-Rap back there in the safety spot coming to his own. So this team, man, going forward, all dominating, and I think outside of 2 quarters against the Cardinals, they pretty much been the best team when out there. So a team recognizing that they need more help, recognizing that we need to go forward. This is our chance. Stafford's up there in age, Donald getting older, Jalen Ramsey. Your window is starting to shrink, because if you don't win this year, right, and you don't win next year, all right, now we're talking about Jalen Ramsey and Donald getting closer to 30. Stafford at that point we like 35, 36. Cooper Kupp, and Robert Woods, they not no young puppies. So you got to continue to, you got to strike when the iron's hot. And I think that's the hottest the Rams have been, even when they win the Super Bowl, even when they went to the Super Bowl with golf. But now this is the hottest Rams team ever, at least since this era.
Yeah, they're going for it. I mean, I thought the move was great. You saw that the Cardinals lost J.J. Watt. Well, shoot, let's go get the guy who's been neck and neck with J.J. Watt for the past decade as best defensive player. Let's go get Von Miller. Of course, Aaron Donald is the defensive player of this current era, but, Watt and Miller were dominating defenses over the previous regime. So it's like, hey, y'all just lost Watt for the season. We should go make a move to upgrade our team. So I thought that was smart. You saw your division rival and your competition for that number 1 seed go down. So smart move by the Rams to go make that happen. They're so progressive that they've extended their window twice now, because of course the first time is when McVay first took the job, Goff on a rookie deal. They went 11-5 that year, and then their second year they were 13-3, and they made the Super Bowl that second year. So I think the year after that they went to 9-7. So that was probably at the point where they started to see, okay, well, we're gonna have to pay our quarterback, but of course we know what happened with that. golf money kick in, and it's like, hey, we gotta move off this dude. So they move off of him, and now they're sitting at 7-1 with Stafford. So this is their second window. The first one was with Jared Goff on the rookie deal. His deal kicks in. They realize this isn't the guy to take us there. We can't pay him this kind of money and get where we're trying to go. We got to upgrade. So they already had the roster there. The only improvement you really could make was to go get the QB. So they're in their second window. Of course, like you said, contracts and age always plays a part. Stafford, he's been around the league for about 12 years now, so he's guys are playing longer, but we still don't know the ramifications of this 17th game. So that's going to play a part. You got to still think about just, of course, the contracts. Guys are getting injured. We're going to talk about some guys being injured in a few minutes, but guys are getting injured, stuff like that. So you got to take advantage while it's there. And when you look at just that combination of you need experienced guys, you need really good drafted players, and you need some solid vets who want to come for the cheap. The Rams have that right now. They have Stafford. They have Donald, Ramsey. You got these big name players. Just added Miller. You got some decently paid receivers in Cup and Woods. You got Henderson. They went and got Sonny Michel. They got
you got a young stud.
Andrew Whitworth. They got a solid. They're solid at everything.
Yeah, I would say you got a young stud in Van Jefferson, like, and the other corner Williams. Like you. I mean, the only thing you could say the Rams really need, and I ain't gonna say need, but like the weakness is linebacker. You know, aging lineman. I mean, but you can sign you a 30-year-old linebacker or guard in the free agency for low money.
Like, bro, look how long Whitworth been playing. Like, come on.
Hey,
like only thing, like Whitworth barely practiced, bro. Like he got a gravy train. All right, he healthy because he barely practiced. They not beating him up. They're not killing him.
About 45, ain't he?
And then like the other thing about the Rams is they aren't afraid to be aggressive. Like they had Brandon Cooks that year. What happened? He got off his money, or they had like they just cut Deshaun Jackson. They get off of him. They had Marcus Peters, got off of him. So like they
Gurley.
have Todd Gurley, Jared Goff. Like they have no resistance to making a move. Like when they got Ramsey, when they got Stafford. So we're talking about both sides of the spectrum where they went and got guys and they moved off of guys. They have no hesitation to go get a guy, give up picks, or kind of navigate the salary cap. So they are aggressive and it's working out for them. They're working on their second window under McVay. I think between this year and probably next year, they have to win the title, or after that, they'll have to start making some more drastic moves with picks and players and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm about to say they better do a good job at this like undrafted free agent market. Like that's where you find you Adam Thielen. What I'm saying, at a different position that you need an undrafted guy. You need some guys who
like even something as like a punter, like just getting a cheap punter or a kicker.
Yeah, I'm about to say because they like what team is that? Is it Chiefs? Yeah, the Chiefs. The guard, the one that fell in the draft from Tennessee. I forgot his name, but I think it's I can't think of his name, but he like power dropped somebody yesterday. 6th round pick. Started day one. Like you got it. I mean, and those happen. You just got to find the right guy, and based off need. If he show up to work, hey, get it done. And that's what Rams have to do now. Like if you're gonna take this route of trading for stars, and you're gonna have to hit the small little things that nobody talking about. The little 5th round linebacker, the undrafted running back, or whatever it is. And I think the Rams have done a pretty good job. You said,
they're smart, man. Like they're very, very smart. All they're doing is they're trading the higher picks for an established player. Because with you, I know what the heck I'm finna get. With this guy, I don't know what we're gonna get.
Right. So, I'm about to say,
at least when you get that 3rd through 6th, 7th round, like, all right, this is gonna be a complimentary piece. We trust the scouting department. This guy won't come in with no ego and come blowing up everything. They just glad to be on the doggone team.
I'm about to say, because you got two ways to think about this. Trayvon Von Miller, or you draft that 2nd round pick who, let's just say, could be Cooper Kupp or it could be Kevin White. Like you gotta think of both sides of the spectrum. Like, am I gonna get another stud or am I gonna get a dud? And that's or take the not guy I know. Like you said,
that's how they're doing it. Taking the guy they know. Like we know you're an established player in this league. We know what you're gonna bring financially and as far as like on the field. Let's go ahead and get that guy versus waiting until April to take a player that can't help us right now. Our window is right now. We need this guy to come help us.
Yep.
We don't need to be waiting until April, basically planning for next year.
Exactly. I'm about to say, and at least the Rams ain't. At least they haven't traded for a guy who's past his prime. Like, I mean, Von Miller may be up there in age, but they got Ramsey, who's considered the best corner. They got Stafford, who considered a top 10 quarterback. Right? You got who they signed Leonard Floyd at one point, who was considered, top 15, top 20 pass rusher. So at least you're not getting, after the fact. Yeah, obviously Whitworth is after the fact, but that man's still balling, so you can't even say nothing about it, even though he's like a dinosaur. But yeah, so yeah, they doing everything right, man. And I mean, their record shows what they're doing. And they'll probably continue. They'll continue the success, and like you said, they have to win the Super Bowl this year or next year, and that's all you need. Because I don't know if you saw my post. I tweeted about Stafford, but like it was 7 guys in front of him that fastest the 300 touchdowns, something like that, and all 7 guys are either Hall of Famers or will be, like your Peyton Manning and Tom Brady's, and Stafford's right there. And I was like, is he a Hall of Famer? And of course, everybody who's negative always said, oh, he got to win. He got to win. Okay, all right. I think he gonna show y'all, whether it's Super Bowl or not. He gonna show y'all it was the Lions. It was not me. Like at the end of the day, and I think so far through 8 weeks, 7 weeks, we've seen that. So this already.
We're finna go into week 9. I have Stafford as my MVP favorite. I mean, of course, that changes every week, but I mean, he's been in my top 3
consistent
the whole time. And Brady just threw 2 picks and cost himself a loss to the Saints. Kyler didn't do anything in their game against Green Bay. So I think right now it's the top 4. You got to say in some order: Brady, Kyler, Aaron Rodgers, and Stafford. And the way Stafford and Rodgers are both playing, they could be, it's going to change every week. I think right now they're the top 2. You still got to throw Josh Allen in there, and just because of the load he's carrying, you still got to throw Lamar Jackson in there.
Yeah, I like it. All right, man, let's move on to and this is an individual. His window closing. Odell Beckham Jr., OBJ, came in the league dynamic. Like when you see other receivers breaking records, is always breaking OBJ's first 10 games, the first 2 seasons. It's always OBJ up there, right? And we both know that he has the talent to be Hall of Fame-esque. But of course, the injury started mounting up. The mental ain't always there sometimes, but OBJ should be elite. He did not get traded in the trade deadline to a team, to help his needs. And this is where like me, I'm coming in with the little selfish mindset, and maybe you might be totally different from what I am, but receivers aren't needed to win. Like what I mean by that is like, okay, of course Jerry Rice got the rings. T.O. was dominating in the Super Bowl. Randy Moss got to finally play in one, but I don't think we sitting here saying, oh, Larry Fitzgerald or Julio Jones or Chris Carter is not great because they don't have no Super Bowl ring, right? So we don't care about wins unless you're a quarterback. So with that being said, I'm saying like,
OBJ, and even for them, I think they're kind of overvalued just because of like it's a team game. Like
right.
You need so much to go right in football to even get to the playoffs, let alone win a Super Bowl. And the only way to really combat that is by being in like just having a bunch of luck on your side. And like There's no better example than the Patriots. Like the Tuck rule is luck. If that goes a different way, that's one less Super Bowl. If Pete Carroll hand the ball off, that thing goes one different way, you might not have a Super Bowl. If the Falcons run the daggone ball, you might not have a Super Bowl. So like there's so many little things, like, and that's just like on the bigger scale. We're not even talking about during the season. Maybe a guy got injured and got back healthy at the right time. Maybe nobody got injured. Mm-hmm. Maybe you made a trade. Maybe you signed a player. Like just maybe you drafted worse and he just worked out. Nobody can get to Brady. Like it's just so many things like luck wise that have to go right.
Yeah, and it's like, do you believe like a guy like OBJ or somebody like this stature, when it doesn't matter about winning? Is it time that we're like, man, wherever I go to, I need to get mines? And it's like yeah, like, 'cause I always say this: if I'm in college and my goal is to win the Heisman, one, that means I'm elite. Two, that means my team good, because you're not winning no Heisman and you 5-5, right? Or you barely bowl eligible, right? So I don't value the Heisman goal as a selfish goal, right? So I think sometimes you can look at that, like, you can say like, I want to get 1,400 receiving yards and 14 touchdowns. That means they can't guard you. That means your team winning. Like, I just don't think you getting 1,400 yards and you sorry. Like, I mean, there's rare occasions of the Calvin Johnsons of the world, right? So, but even that, Calvin Johnson will be first ballot. So, like, I just, what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just feel like OBJ, and I know me and you talk about this off air, was like, we trying to find what team is the best team, but like at the end of the day, I think he needs to be focused on him instead of like with the Browns where he say, "Oh, I just want to win." In a receiver in the world, going out there and okay with 2 catches and 5 yards, like he talking a million game, but I don't believe it.
I mean, like, just ego wise, I don't want a receiver who don't, like Keisha said, give me the damn ball. Like, I don't want the receiver who don't want the ball. I mean, I don't care if you're the genetic freak that's Julio Jones or you're like the best route runner like Thielen in the Cup. I don't care. Like, I want you to want the ball. Like, we 7-1. I want Robert Woods to say, I still want the daggone ball.
Yep.
So, like, yeah, Odell want to win. Like, everybody wants to win. That's the whole point of playing sports. You want to win, but you want to enjoy winning. You want to feel like you're part of the winning. Like, you don't want to be running 40 routes and blocking for a Hunt and Chubb, and then you look at the stat line:
3 targets,
2 for 10 with 4 targets. Like, you don't want to see that, because like that's messing up. Odell is a brand, from looks, hair, commercials. Like, he's a brand, and you don't keep on getting endorsements if you're not in a featured spot. Like, he got a lot of stuff because he was in the New York market. He made the crazy catch, stuff like that. So you want to keep that stuff up for post-career branding, making money. Like, look at guys like Troy Polamalu. He's still making commercials. Like, right. Troy ain't played it on how long, but because of he won, he's a safety. You won games and you had great hair. People want to endorse you. Like, same thing for Odell. Like, you don't want to go to Cleveland and let your career just die off. Like, he's kind of in a bad spot. I mean, first 3 years in the league, 1,300, 1,400, 1,300. His 4th year, he had the ankle fracture, had to get surgery. He came back and played 12 games with the Giants, but still had a 1,000-yard season. And of course, games. He goes to the Browns. I mean, even his rookie year, he had 1,300 yards on the play in 12 games. Like, his first 3 years, he was double-digit touchdowns, 12, 13, 10, but ever since then, 3, 6, 4, 3, and he ain't scored at all this year. Like, he don't even have 300 yards this year.
Bro, the talent is the talent. We know, and like I said, maybe at the end of the day, the talent is gone.
Bro, if you combine his last 2 years with the Browns, he only have 800 yards. He played 7 games last year, 319, and he's played 6 games this year in 232. Like, so barely 500 yards.
I'll ask you this. Okay, well, it's kind of piggyback questions, right? So, first question: do you think Browns need OBJ to win?
No, they need to figure out a whole lot more stuff. Like, they need to figure out, is Baker the guy? Like,
okay,
I feel like they were trying to go get all the talent to make it easier for him, or at least it's like, we got so much talent we can't lose.
Right.
But it backfired. That first year was a disaster. You bring Stefanski in, they do have a good year, and they kind of had their most success when Odell was
not there
last year.
All right. So,
and then now you're trying to figure out, Baker's banged up. You're trying to figure that out. Hunt and Chubb banged up. You're trying to get around that. You luckily got a good third string running back. Landry's been out. Odell's been out, then back. it's just time to go ahead and cut bait. Like Odell is at that crossroads. He's 8 years in. He's at that crossroads where if he balls for the next 3 to 5 years, his earlier stuff could get him into the Hall of Fame. Or if he just stay in Cleveland, it'll be, we just wonder like, damn, he was so talented, but what happened?
What if? Yeah. And all right, so next question is, why the hell you think the Browns kept him? Because if we don't need him to win, and we're winning despite of, or not, if we're winning without him. Why Von Miller just went for next year's second and third. Ingram went to the Chiefs for a 6. Like, if he has no value to you, why keep him?
I think it's just the contract. Like Odell got some money on the books. So I think just contractually, that's going to be a tough spot. And then, probably in the off season when you can really, really trade some picks, because I think they got Odell for like a first and a third. You're not getting a first and third back now.
No, of course not.
And then you're going to have to eat some of his money from this year. So they just like, well, we might as well just stay with you, because the teams who may want you, they probably can't afford you, combined with they don't want to give up the draft capital to acquire you.
Yeah.
So when you have that at play, it's kind of hard to make a trade.
All right. Well, last question before we get out of here, then, if you can pick one team for OBJ to go to get back to being OBJ, who you taking? What team? What team does you say like he go here?
Man.
He might be Hall of Fame bound again.
Like if it was pre-trade deadline, like trying to see where he could go, I would have liked the Packers to kind of make amends with Rodgers and say, look, y'all trying to figure out the thing with Baker. Here's Jordan Love and some other picks. Give us Odell, and we'll figure out this, the stuff with Rodgers and Devontae Adams and Odell, and we're gonna make a run right now. I would have preferred Green Bay do something like that. Like, look, we messed up drafting Jordan Love. Y'all got Baker. Y'all don't know. Here's Jordan Love. Figure that out, and he got some picks, and let us get Odell, and we're gonna try to go make a run right here. But that didn't happen. So I just want to see Odell kind of get with actually elite quarterback. He caught Eli on the back end. You got Baker, who can't really get it together, honestly. So I just want to see him get with an elite guy. I mean, of course, I don't think Kansas City is the right fit. I mean, of course, he can't get – now, I think a Tampa Bay scenario could work because Brady just likes guys like Odell who can run those crazy routes and make crazy catches, but that'll require something like, we gonna send y'all Odell and y'all gotta give us Godwin, because they ain't giving up Evans.
Oh no.
So I mean, I think because like he's already paid, so I think under that scenario we'll inherit Odell and y'all can pay Godwin.
Okay.
So but I don't think God want to go to Cleveland. He want to keep on winning too.
I'll throw one at you. The same your Packers. I'll say Bills, because all right, we all know Cole Beasley ain't no All Pro. He made it last year, but we know that's BS. All right, and even though Emmanuel Sanders started out hot, it's a reason why my boy on 4 different teams the last 4 years. Like, there's a reason why he was on the 49ers, the Saints, and the Broncos, and all the other different teams recently. It's a reason for that, right? So why not? And Diggs, as great as he is, he ain't really done nothing this year. It's, what I'm saying? So it's like, Dawson Knox obviously emerged, but, if it wasn't for Josh Allen being Josh Allen, the Bills ain't, they not winning these games. They're not looking as they're not doing it, right? So I'm going to say, just like how you saying for Packers, the pair with Adams, I'm going to say the same thing, like pair OBJ with Allen, with Diggs, and there's your elite quarterback. There's your chance to also win, and Allen can support. Obviously, if he supported 2 All-Pros last year with Beasley making it, he can support. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't run the ball, so he can support Diggs and OBJ. I'm just saying that's a good option too. So we know Rodgers can support 2 receivers. He's done it before with the Jordan Nelsons and the Cobbs and the James Johnsons and who else are missing? Jennings. So like you had too many
times.
Too many guys. So I feel like Packers and Bills, that was two, and I mean, it's not like you have to give a lot. Like you said, you're not getting those picks back. So, you're right. There should have been teams that feel like they was one playmaker away. Because in the playoffs, bro, are you not going to double team Adams and Diggs all day long? Like you know what I'm saying? Like,
come on, man.
You got to.
Just logically, you're gonna double team them.
Got to.
I'm not in Kansas City. Like, people are just playing cover two. They keeping somebody over the top, so Hill ain't going deep. They got somebody underneath he can't beat you underneath, and then Kelsey ain't having the best year. They can't run the ball to run you out of cover two. So Mahomes throwing a pick every game. He got like 10 INTs and only 8 games in. So it's like the defense ain't really helping you. So like Kansas City is just in a bad way. So that just kind of shows like how a defense can take away somebody and it'll affect everything else.
And if you take away Diggs, take away Adams. Okay, yeah, I got Aaron Jones. I mean Aaron, but yeah, I got Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen. But you want they got to do everything. And I feel like OBJ could have helped that a little bit because they would throw him the ball. I don't know what's wrong with Baker. I don't know if you saw his dad coming at Baker.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. Like it's tough because like DeAndre Hopkins. Like I want to see Odell kind of get that treatment. Like D Hop went through so many bad QBs, and then he got Watson and Kyler back to back. Or you got like the opposite of Brandon Cooks had so many good QBs, like Drew Brees, Tom Brady, the Rams. Like when golf was hooping, and then
this is a good system anyway. I always say this. He had. Well, you say a better way. Yeah, Sean Payton, McDaniels, and McVay. Like that's like, and now you got fucking.
Yeah, now you. Yeah, I mean, the good thing he still.
Yeah, he's still balling. Yeah.
But you don't have that same caliber of a QB. So
exactly,
I'm just hoping it goes in Odell's favor because he had some rough times and stat wise first 3 years
he saved Eli.
Was good, but
like that's first thing. So somebody can save him. Free OBJ.
But he ain't really been the same since the boys took that boat trip. He ain't been the same since the boat trip, man. My boy been injured. Ain't really been in too many winning situations, man. So and he one of my favorite receivers, man. I feel like we should be having, every era gives you like those great receivers. That you had the Randy versus T.O. You had the big genetic freak guy versus like the athletic do it all guy. So you had the Randy T.O. You had the Larry versus Calvin. The AB versus Julio. I feel like we should be doing Odell versus Hopkins right now because they came out around the same time. But
it's a lot of good receivers now. Like you say, D-Hop.
But like at the time, like the way Odell was training those first 3 years, and like just Hopkins is just consistent. I'm gonna put up 1,000. I don't care who's throwing the ball. Like I'm not dropping anything. I'm putting up 1,000 no matter what. I feel like it should have been them two, but now, like I don't know. I feel like we really can't have that debate to go to the next one, which I thought would have probably been Adams and Mike Thomas. But Mike, Slant boy hurt.
Hey man.
But and shoot, and like Adams doing his thing right now.
Adams ball. I was about to say the only person you can put up with Adams is what? I guess it was Tyreek. Tyreek versus Adams for.
And like, see, I don't think none of us really consider Tyreek by definition. He's a receiver, but we don't really consider him a receiver. Well, we just consider him like just a
utility. I'm about to say you got running back, you got receiver, then you got utility, right? And that's Hill. I think Kamara's in that list. Cordell Patterson. That's the three. That's the three guys right there. Utility players right there. All right.
Hey man, what you think about Derrick Henry getting hurt, man? That's a big. I'm
about to say let's go.
Titans
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because,
like, he was the one guy where you could say you can't go wrong paying that RB, and he finally gave in.
I'm about to say that it's always outliers to the rule. Even though our rule is never pay running backs. I told you this before. I probably would have got fired at the GM because I would have traded Derrick Henry. Because now you got two ways. Go pass heavy, which is why I think you brought in Julio anyway, or that's the reason what like now, or now you got to be a balanced offense, and is that going to be enough? Is Adrian Peterson, McNichols, and whoever you got? Shout out my boy all day, man. He's still getting he's the first look.
The fact he's 36 and still staying in shape to get a job, like I was like, why they ain't call Todd
They
Gurley?
didn't even call
He
Gurley.
can run and kick.
Yo, they didn't
Like,
even call Gurley, bro. That's crazy. Shout out to AP.
Bro, the fact nobody is calling Gurley, like, I want to know what's going on. Like, I know his knees were bad, but are they that bad?
They gotta be shot for real. But like, so yeah, the ageless Adrian Peterson, McNichols, like, I can't even see that team being balanced because I feel like Derrick Henry made up for his power and his speed. So like, Adrian Peterson, 08, that's a different story. But 2021. I just don't know, and I don't know. You can't be balanced. I don't think because like if you're saying, let's just say for example, the Titans are 75 Henry or running and 25 pass. I don't know if you can go 50-50. I think you have to 180 that thing 75-25 because I don't see it, bro. And losing somebody like Derrick Henry, we talked about this in the Prophet Theory thing about this team been together for 2-3 years. There's a chance. There's a chance to win. You got to win it all. And you had a back and forth between your Colts on Titans. Well, now the Titans went 2-0 against the Colts. They're the number 1 seed in the AFC, but it came at a price. It came at a price of Derrick Henry injury. So that's when we talk about windows and you not being able to beat teams multiple ways. This is a way right here. If Titans somehow, I mean, you said it one time. You said Sean Payton is coach of the year. They win 10 games, and I'm like, if Titans the 1 seed, so right now they're 1 seed today. Today when this episode come out, they're the 1 seed. If they be the 1 seed at the end of the year, you gotta give it a Mayberry because I'm sitting here thinking, scratch my head, like, ain't no way, boy, ain't no way, boy, boy, ain't no way.
And like, bro, the Titans are the perfect example of like how certain things can just break your way. Like the Seattle game, they were losing terribly.
Yeah.
But Seattle die off and then Russ make a crazy play, you beat Seattle. But you lose to the freaking Jets. Granted your team was banged up, but you lost to the Jets.
Right.
They got lucky and stole against the Bills.
Right. Allen fall
You
down.
annihilate Kansas City. And then Carson Wentz get a game away against the Colts in a rematch. Like, and now you 6-2. Like, it's just crazy how that plays out, man. Like,
all come at a price.
Like, Tannehill ain't been good to me all year. Tannehill is like, I like Tannehill, but hey, he ain't it this year.
Yo, we talked about OBJ. When Titans lost Derrick Henry, they should have said, you know what? F it. We need to pass 100%. Go get OBJ. Yeah, like this is the opportunity where you could like go change your whole team up right now because obviously Julio Jones is not going to be healthy. So now
like that's looking like a bad
so
trade.
Now we
got Julio.
We trying AJ. So now we're just AJ Brown.
Man.
And unlike Adams, he don't have Aaron Jones. Unlike Diggs, Diggs don't have nobody. Now he just like them. So let's see if AJ Brown can dominate. Let's see if Tannehill can. We talk about Allen Diggs or Rodgers Adams. That's two top 10 guys on in their position on both teams. We talk about Tannehill flirting with that top 10 this year. He ain't been top 10.
Oh no, Tannehill been about 15, 16.
He's gonna have to get there without number one running back. Like you had and AJ Brown.
Oh, number one easy.
Like and then AJ Brown, who's float from probably float from number 6 to number 15 every week. so can he be consistently 10? And if that don't happen, if Julio Jones don't stay healthy, you got to hope Kevin Byard is just so good. You got to hope Kevin Byard is just too good because I think he's the best DB right now of Pro Football Focus. But other than that, ain't no way. Boy, ain't no way.
Yeah, like this is something we'll kind of dive into more next week, man. But like I was high on the Colts because I saw their schedule spin the trend in a better way. Like they got the win against Miami.
Right.
They should have beat Baltimore. They did everything right to beat Baltimore until the very end. Then they had Houston. You got the 49ers, and I was like, all right, they can win a rematch against Tennessee. And then now you're looking at 5-3, and we would have thought Tennessee would have been about in the same ballpark, about 5-3, which they technically are at 6-2, but the Colts didn't do their part. They kind of make it competitive for the division. So the division is basically over. So I mean, anybody who put money on Titans, that's free money. You already got that because Jags season has been over. Texans season been over, and now basically the Colts season over because you could probably make a wild card because the AFC is so jumbled up.
Yeah,
but division wise, it's over.
What's Colts? Colts 3-5, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I don't want to make no assumptions that they beat the Jets, but let's just say they do. So you're 4-5.
They got Jets and Jags next.
You 4-5. I don't know. Let's say they win Thursday. I don't know if you can sit here and say the back half of your schedule with 9 games left, and let's just say we probably believe Titans probably lose in LA, right? I'm just going to project forward a little bit. If Titans lose in LA, so that make Titans 6-3, and the Colts 3-5. So essentially, the Titans are up 4 games, up 3 games because they got the 2 6-4, but then you got the tiebreaker for winning both games.
Yeah.
So do a team in 9 games can win? Like, we'll talk about next week, but I want everybody to think about it. Like, do you think a team can win 9 out of the 9 games, have a winning record where they're +3 over the Titans? And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. So
yeah, it's gonna just be too hard, man, because the Colts back half is favorable, but it's not easy. They're gonna get the Jags twice. They're gonna get the Jets. Yeah, they're gonna get Texans. They got the Raiders, so sad news about Henry Ruggs. There was a death, so sad news about Henry Ruggs, and definitely RIP to the family that was involved in that situation.
Right.
But they still have to play the Bills, Bucks, Patriots, and Cardinals. So Colts, I don't know. Like, I was high on them because I was thinking they were gonna beat Tennessee.
Yeah. And
then Delta being like, all right, you split. So now it just a race to the finish line for both of y'all. But they gonna have to hope for a wild card at best. Derrick Henry's missing. But who knows, man? Like this Titans team, Rams, Saints, Houston, New England, your next 4. You get to bye. Jags, Steelers, 49ers, Miami, Houston again. I mean, coming into the season, we both had them at 11 wins. They halfway there.
And you said who you said Texans? And
yeah, they have Jags and Texans. So that's after they buy.
That's 8 wins.
Yeah, so they got Texans twice, and they have the Jags.
They got at least 9. So
now you got to find 2 more.
But even with the Texans winning, the Titans winning 9 games, right? Can the Colts win 9, or can they win 10? They got to win 10. Can't win 9 to win the division, so you got to win 10, which means you got to win 7 in the next 10 weeks. Oh my gosh!
And like even with that, you're still hoping that the Titans just choke away some other games.
If Titans lose the rest of their games and go 9-7. You have to go 7-3 to end the season, and that's with Jets, Jags twice, and Texans with 4 automatic dubs, and you still got to win 3 more.
1, 2, 3. If I'm just mapping it out right here, I only see 6. Jets, Jags. I think they'll beat Houston after the bye because I trust their preparation, and it's a home game. I think they could beat New England. They get the Raiders at home. They could win that. And then they get the Jags in the last week of the season. So I only see 6. I don't think they'll beat Buffalo at Buffalo. Mm-hmm. I don't think they have enough to beat Bucks in week 12. They're going to go to Arizona week 16. I don't think they can do it.
That's crazy. Even with Derrick Henry, the Titans still find themselves could be 9-7 and still make the playoffs.
It's crazy.
Shout out to the Titans. But let's talk about the Colts before we got here. The Colts opponent Thursday. When you're hearing this podcast, the Jets. So we figured out who Mike Jones was. Who the fuck is Mike White? Because he cost me too much money this week. I'm upset. You got Jets fans screaming, start Mike White over Zach Wilson from here on out. But all he did was throw 15 passes to the running back. He did carve the Bengals up for whatever reason, 400 passing yards. Throwing the ball short. throwing the ball short. 4 to 5 yards a target, a pass. Yet it threw for 400 yards. I don't know what the Bengals thought. Who did the Bengals think the Jets had on at receiver? Tyreek Hill? Why are they all back in the back? Why is Michael Carter scoring 31 fantasy points?
Bro.
He had more fantasy points yesterday.
He beat me by himself. He almost beat me.
He had more fantasy points last week than he did all season. Who the fuck Mike White, bro? because I'm trying to figure out why the Bengals. They said, "Oh, we gonna beat Ravens ass in front of everybody," and then we gonna this random 1 o'clock game. We gonna just lay an egg to the Jets. And the thing is, you up 11 points with 7 minutes, so you still balling. Mixon still went crazy. Like Tyler Boyd showed up today, and T. Higgins finally showed up. No Jamar Chase this time, but that's why you get 3 pass catchers. So if one fall off, the other 2 better show up. You did everything right. You threw a screen pass, got picked off, let the Jets beat you. And then the Jets scored 34. Once again, y'all, who the fuck is Mike White?
Like, bro, that's the problem with the Bengals. Like, you had people on major network talk shows saying, are the Bengals a real contender? And they blew it to the Jets. Now, full transparency, the game should not have gotten that close. And the penalty at the end that did cost them, that was,
BS.
That was a BS call. But that kind of stuff happens when you get yourself in that situation. That's why you don't let teams linger around. That's why you don't let that potential stuff to happen. If you just go ahead and dominate the game and don't let it get to that point, you don't lose the game. But because you did, now you got to deal with a loss to the Jets. I mean, you could have really started to build some wins and made a statement of like, we here to stay, but because you lost, now it's like same old Bengals. Same old Bengals.
I'm disappointed because you know what's gonna happen, right? We talk all this trash about Baker, and we were hoping for OBJ. They might just go into Cincinnati and whoop. You know what I'm saying? Like they go in Cincinnati this weekend and put a statement on the game. Baker back, OBJ back. All of a sudden now the Browns cooking again because they need to win too. They 4-4 now. They need to win too.
Man, that's the crazy thing. Like, the Bengals could have built up so much momentum. Like, yeah, it's the Lions, but you could have beat the Lions on the road, dominated the Ravens on the road, and then you could have beat the Jets on the road, and you could have went home and potentially beat Cleveland. You would have had 4 games in a row, and like you'd have won. Yeah, these aren't hostile environments, but it's still on the road. Well, the Ravens is,
but it's still 2 statement games now. And then they beat the Steelers. You would have beat the Steelers, beat the Ravens, and then momentum high beat the Browns. But now the Browns desperate, and now you're back against the wall because you can't beat the freaking Jets because you don't know who the fuck Mike White is, and I don't know who Mike White is.
Man.
What school did he go to? God, dog.
Hey, but
you know he ain't got no power conference. Who is Mike White? Somebody answer that question for me. I just don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. He was better. He had the most passing yards this week.
Yeah, come on. That was a crazy game. Like, dude really balled out.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
He had 2 picks, but he still played I think he hit like 80% of his passes.
He like 37 for 40 something, bro. He like I said, he wasn't really he didn't wow you because he didn't throw it nowhere. But because he's a backup and we don't know who he is, and you look at the box score, and every time I was watching the game on my on the Gamecast thing, every time all I seen was Bengals scored. Then I look back, Jason the red zone again. Then Bengals scored. I said, all right, cool. Look back again. I kept saying it over and over again, and then I was like, bro. I told my friend, I was like, bro. As soon as the Bengals don't score, Jets gonna win this game. And what the first play, Burrow threw a pick. Oh my gosh, I about fainted, boy.
Yeah, he
Oh my
went to
God.
South Florida and Western Kentucky, so not major schools.
We let a Hilltopper beat. Come on, bro. You let a
He didn't
Hilltopper.
really go to any major schools, but
You let a Hilltopper.
he was a 5th-round pick by the Cowboys in 2018. So
a 5th-round pick who never even started for the Cowboys. Yo, they went after Andy Dalton, and they started like Danucci or something last year, and then Cooper Rush just played last week. So Mike White ain't never played for the. Come on, man, a Hilltopper. Bengals. Hey, at the end of the day, you know what I learned last week? Because I was very high on Jags going into Seattle to play some good football coming off a bye because they was trending upwards. One thing I learned, Jags going to Jag. I thought, Lions at home against Eagles. Eagles didn't really play good either. Lions going to Lion.
Oh yeah.
And Bengals going to Bengal. That's and then who was lost? Browns. The Browns going to Browns.
Oh yeah.
That's like, an everyday lesson.
Hey, they may have some good seasons here and there, man, but for the most part, a bad team will always be a bad franchise in general. So that's just how the game goes, man.
That's how I go, and I think that's how we end the show right there, man. So next week gonna be a special week. Make sure y'all tune in. That probably player out theory, the halfway mark, man. That's gonna be a good one. So hopefully the Colts make it interesting and make this Titans versus Colts interesting. We'll see what Titans going to do with their window shrink without Derrick Henry. And, man, maybe OBJ get his shit together. So, we'll be back next week, stronger than ever. Appreciate Rashad. We out.